I've promised myself no pauses in this battle, so I'm hoping to kill off mainly the main body of it in this particular video. We should certainly know the results by then. These are the rebel troops who are coming down towards me at that wall. Do you remember I'd left some troops facing the enemy but way down out of cannon fire as much as possible and behind a wall. I'm hoping they'll go 1 for 1 for me, this infantry. They're the same type as infantry of infantry as myself, so I'm quite happy for them to go 1 on 1 there, and I expect to get the better of them. I've got the cavalry behind as well, so the idea is when he routs, which I hope he will do if he goes on 1 on 1 fire anyway. That's my range, you can see there, that redness. That means that they've entered within my range. You can see they can barely see the top of my men there, really, so there isn't really a clear line of sight for either of us here, but they are still standing out in the open, which does give me an advantage. So if they are to stand toe to toe, as it were, with me, then they are definitely going to suffer on that one. The artillery's largely ineffective there while I'm behind a wall as well. I was rather hoping the artillery would stay and fire at me while I was behind that wall. That would keep their attention while my troops, who are over on the left flank, are going round the back. Okay, you can see I'm getting slightly the better of that fight. It's very slow though, because we're not the best troops either. We're just militia troops, and we are firing at the longest range, and we are over a bit of a bump in the ground there as well, so we're a bit obscured. That could take quite some time to finish that one. So let's have a look on the left flank. These are my chaps coming over here in column formation. At the beginning of the battle, all the artillery was all lined up facing towards those troops that are currently behind the wall. And you saw as I was flicking down earlier to go and have a look at what was happening in that with the infantry unit that had gone down towards my men behind the wall, that the artillery were rearranging themselves, and there you can see it. They pull themselves round to this side so that they can give fire as I go past, and there they go, firing away. And you can see the what's probably the general's unit is in the house as well, so he's put that one in a safe place. It all makes a great deal of sense. It's a bit silly charging that infantry unit down there, of course, but apart from that, the rest of the battle makes sense from the enemy's point of view. Occupying a building means that that he's protected from my bayonet attacks as much as he can be, and certainly from fire attacks. But also, if I were to send in cavalry against artillery there, even if I were to get through, and it's unlikely against grape shot, if I went in along the side, then his guns would probably fire and kill the gun in front of them, along the side of them rather, which would then become in front of them. But they'd take so many casualties away, my cavalry would rout. In the early forms of Empire, the canister shot wasn't as effective, the Empire Total War, but I think it's been upgraded. Certainly if I were to charge my cavalry at that, I'd expect to lose 15-20 cavalrymen, and I'd expect their morale to go, and they would rout probably from the field. So I can't just sweep them away with a cavalry charge, I'm afraid. It really would be like the charge of the Light Brigade. So what I'm doing is I'm finding the advantage of ground, getting my men as much as possible in any dips and gullies. He's decided to come on. He decided to charge me. He obviously realised he wasn't getting the better of that firefight, so he's decided to go all the way. I'm moving my cavalry off to the right hand side there. I'm not going to go charging straight into the back of my own infantry. I'm going to play for an advantage and go off to the flank, and then attack his infantry from what is my right flank, what is his left flank. So I'm going to hit him in his left flank. I seem to be getting the better of the fight as well. We managed to get the plug bayonets in time. Well, we certainly tried to get them in. Whether we actually managed to get them in time, I'm not too sure, but some might well have. And here come the cavalry as well. His morale's broken as soon as the cavalry get round the back, of course. And that's one unit completely removed from the field. It's very important with rebels, of course. What I don't want is for them to retreat and get too far from my capital, so that, I say the capital of the area, which is Alsace-Lorraine. I don't want him to get too far away, because it means I've then got to leave that that city in order to go and fight the rebels. At the moment he's close to me, and that's why I'm attacking him right away. I don't want him sort of wandering around Alsace-Lorraine damaging buildings. I want to take him out now. I've got the ring bayonet ready to be researched next turn. It should be finished by next turn. If I could have done, I'd have waited perhaps one more go, and it would have given me a significant melee advantage, and obviously then a resultant reduction in the number of people that I lose, and also then the amount that I have to pay in recruiting new people to the ranks. Okay, just having a look in the town now, see where everything is. You can see I've got my infantry there virtually level with the town now. There's a bit of a lump in the ground there, can you see that? His artillery is still missing, falling a bit short there, which is just as well because we're in a hopelessly dense formation there. It's the quickest way to get them around though, I'm afraid, in column formation. One of the other features of the game, it's brilliant, is that if you put your men into column formation, and it's fairly easy to do, they do move quicker than they will in line formation if you have to turn the line formation round at all. Obviously just going in a straight line, there's no difference. No, not that I've noticed. Very few of his infantry have got away there, so we're sending in the cavalry to chase them away. I want to get them really before they get too close to his artillery, and also before they get too close to the building. That's one of the reasons why he puts men in buildings. So when his artillery rout, which I'm sure they will be doing, when they rout, they will rout through that town and into that building at the back, well, around that building at the back. So anything that chases them will get shot at by that building. And usually you chase things down with cavalry. So I would expect a cavalry unit of 45 to say lose 15. Maybe even as many as 20, just going past that building, chasing routing troops. But which is another reason why I'm going around the back. I'd like to take out that building first. I'd very much like to occupy that building and be in it when he routs. Like I say, no pulses so far. Managing to get the cavalry there behind some buildings. In order to fire at me at the moment, he's got to turn his guns right to the left and fire across his own artillery pieces, and then he would only be firing into buildings. Using the brow of the hill, you see he's hitting the brow of that hill now, and also using the town buildings. I hope to completely outflank him and go around his rear. Now my next intention is to get bayonets in and charge that building. So as I say, we occupy that, and then we can fire at anything that tries to get past us. I expect with regular troops, with bayonets, we should be able to clear that building out quite easily. You see some of his artillery are retiring there. We don't want that to happen. I don't want any of this artillery getting off the field. One of the strange things about this game is you can have one artillery piece wandering around your country just damaging buildings. It's rather odd when you imagine this sort of sabotage band of brigands, carting a gun round and wrecking haystacks, etc. Anyhow. Okay, making a play for the building now, but also not wanting those artillery to get away as well, that artillery to get away as well. I think you can see what's going to happen, but we will have to finish this on the next video, I'm afraid. There's still a bit of artillery to deal with there, and perhaps a bit of grape shot as well to deal with.